go.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. Make a motion to accept the agenda for the meeting of Scituate Board of Health from Monday, August 22nd, 2022. This is a Zoom meeting at 6 p.m. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Karen, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Kelly?
Yes.
And Doug votes yes. So, okay, scheduled items. Discuss and vote septic design hearing, 228 Central Ave, Riverhawk Environmental representing homeowner request for installation of a septic system regarding local upgrades and variances. Do we have anyone from Riverhawk on the phone?
You currently do not.
Okay.
Is this Sam?
Sam Hayes, I'm sorry, is with me. He's just training, so you can ignore that one.
Okay, so it's 6 o'clock. If you want to wait and we can, you know,
Wanna
do
do-
for the next
Yeah.
item and then,
Just to recap, we said we were gonna put it on this meeting. They were at the last meeting on the 8th. And they needed to do some revisions to the septic plan because a lot of it was incorrect. So we did get a new plan back from them on last week. And so with their butter cards, so I'm not sure why somebody isn't on the meeting. We told them it
Okay.
was gonna be this tonight.
Okay, so do you
So-
want to go to old business, new business, and then if
Yeah,
they jump
maybe that-
on?
Yeah,
Okay. Any old business?
this is gonna be a quick jump, huh?
How
No, but I
about new
can,
business?
I can give my director's report
Okay,
if
so
you'd
what are you
like,
saying?
because I do have a couple of items that I do want to talk to you about.
Okay,
That we have had in the past. So right now, we have 18 plans in review, 5 under Concom waiting for their review, 2 rating engineer revisions. We have 27 as-built in line, and we have 24 in failure. We have had, we had 15 cases of COVID last week. We are one of the higher communities in the South Shore. I think we were at 9% and the state average is like 7.2. I believe it's us. Plymouth is in it, is one of the counties, is one of the towns. Cohasset is one of the towns, I believe also. But again, you know, these are tests that are being diagnosed by a lab. They're not including home tests or anything else like that. And you are muted, Karen. Oh, I thought you would, okay. So, with that, we also do have the Dana-Farber mammography ban coming down on September 6th over at St. Luke's, right over on First Parish Road from 7:30 to 3 o'clock. So that is on our webpage. All the information is there. All of our beaches were good last week. They were all less than 10. Teresa actually posted all of the beaches on the webpage. Joan was off that day, and Teresa did an outstanding job because she didn't have to call me, which I was very grateful that she could do it. So that was good. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and I did talk to you about it, one of them earlier, the public health grant for shared services, the excellence grant that we're looking into with Cohasset, Hingham, and Hull. They need a minimum of 3. We backed away a little bit on it because some of the grant obligations changed. Hull backed away from it also. We are meeting again on it this Wednesday. And when we meet, I believe there's a very good way or a good chance that we'll be able to tie in the mass statewide opioid settlement money that each municipality is going to be getting to do outreach and education on prevention of opioid use. So we're meeting Wednesday with Pam Fahey over in Cohasset. They already have a person who's overseeing the Public Health Excellence Grant. So we should be able to coordinate a bunch of different services where we don't have to worry about housing the individual people, because we are very limited as far as space goes. But we're also inviting the peer recovery group from South Shore that's down in the harbor, because we'll be able to use some of this opioid grant if we partner with other organizations to get the education out there. So when I talked with Erica, our social worker, I had a meeting with her this morning. She's really excited about it. There's a lot of things in there that we can utilize. One of the big things is they can pay for a new program that only she'll have access to, because she has a lot of confidential information with patients and clients that she meets with, that cost was going to be put on the town, and through the grant now we'll be able to get all of that program paid for through that. We'll be able to have an additional social worker, an additional public health nurse that can cover when Eileen is away and that if we get overwhelmed. So there are a lot of pluses to it. They've taken away a lot of the minuses. So we are meeting on Wednesday. Hopefully, if we come to an agreement, I believe that the Board of Health has to vote on it. I don't believe we have to go to the Board of Selectmen or the Select Board to do it. I believe the Board of Health in the agreement has that authority. So that's where we have that. I have that on Wednesday. Hopefully I'll have more news at our next meeting. And other than that, that is all I have. And if the what's the address? Well, Central.
228.
If we don't need them to participate, I mean, if Joan's satisfied and if she's satisfied with the things and we have the cards, since we already had them in here once and they answered questions, you guys can go ahead and approve it. If you want to continue it until someone's present, by all means, that's all your prerogative.
Okay.
So I'll close it and then you can go back.
Joan, was there any, I mean, I heard you say you had the abutters approvals and all that. Was there anything that on the plans looked?
So they did not, so I haven't reviewed the whole thing yet. I mean, because they just sent it in last week. And I was out a few days last week, so, I don't know, it's up to you if you want to wait. I haven't finished the review on it. I mean, you could
You can
approve
wait.
it with,
They're not here. We can wait then.
conservation has to approve this too, so.
Yeah, I'd rather,
would be
I mean, I don't know
pending.
how Karen and Kelly feel. If you haven't reviewed it, and I remember with Karen, there were a lot of if and moving pieces, so I'd rather wait
Yeah.
for
I
you
got-
to
why don't-
review it.
I'll make a motion to continue it to the next meeting and hopefully they can come to the next meeting.
Okay, a second,
Second.
and how do you vote, Karen?
Yes.
And Kelly?
Yes.
And Doug votes yes. So we'll just table that to the next meeting on that part. And then the only other thing is Board of Health meeting minutes.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
didn't have
remember-
anything. Yeah, we
Okay,
didn't have,
I was gonna say, I didn't see anything
always
come
leave
up
it on,
in
yeah.
the email. Okay, so I guess it's just administrative,
And there are no administrative invoices.
boy, oh boy, this could be a record. All right, other than that, does anyone else have anything?
You do have an individual that
think
did
you have
just-
someone
Bob
joining.
Reno has just come on.
wait a
Okay.
minute, somebody-
So we haven't adjourned yet. If you want to reopen it, you can.
yeah, he's on, this is him.
Okay, that,
You'd have to vote to reopen it,
Okay,
because you just tabled it, so you'd have to vote to
okay, so
yes.
can we make a motion to reopen and discuss the voting design hearing for 228 at Central Ave, Riverhawk Environmental representing homeowner request for installation of septic system requiring local upgrades and variants. Do I have a second?
Second.
And Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Karen?
Yes.
And Doug says yes. So the representative from Riverhawk, if you could state your name and the company and go ahead and we'll reopen it for you.
Okay, great, thanks. For the record, my name's Bob Rigo. I'm with Riverhawk Environmental. And we're here tonight. We were on at the previous hearing, and there was a couple questions about some of the variances we're requesting and some clarity between the variance request form and the plan. So we submitted revised plans, which hopefully clarified that. And I just apologize for coming late here. I'm trying to find the drawing to open up. Do you typically share the screen or put up a
I
copy?
believe you can share it, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I apologize. I'm grabbing it. Okay. All right. Now I can share my screen. Sorry about all the confusion.
That's okay.
Okay. So there it is. It's a proposed replacement of a failing septic system along at a property on Central Ave, which is in Humrock. Basically, the South River is to the west, and there's the 200-foot riverfront area we show here. And then to the east is the Atlantic Ocean. So we tried to keep everything as far away from the ocean as possible, and on the front side of the barrier beach is less subject to movement of the sand and material above the septic system. So we're proposing basically a 1,500 gallon septic tank and a Presby leaching field. The septic tank we're proposing is plastic due to the fact that it has to be relocated underneath an existing deck. And we were hoping the contractor could place that septic tank under there without demolition of the deck that's overhead. In order to put the system on there, we have a fully sized Presby system, which meets the flow requirements for a 3-bedroom home. We are requesting a reduction in the groundwater separation from 5 feet, because it was less than 2 minutes per inch perk, to 3 feet. So we've kept 100% of the system size, so we could ask for that variance. In order to do that, we need several other variances. We need 2 variances to the property line for the soil absorption system, one of 6.9 feet, the other of 7.3 feet to the front Central Ave. We also need a variance for the setback from the septic tank to the structure. There's basically a slab on grade. This house is a little different from some of the nearby ones where it's basically a slab where you walk into first floor living area or first level living area. So we're requesting a reduction of 10 feet to 4.6 feet for that one. And then the final variance I believe we need to request is we only did 1 test pit in the location and not 2. So we're requesting a variance from 1 test pit, or from 2 test pits to 1 test pit, excuse me. That's basically it.
Okay, and Joan, you said that you have all the butter things.
Yeah, I think
And
they were, yep, they posted them online. I just
Okay.
want to make a note that last time they didn't add the anchor for the plastic tank.
Oh, Yeah, there's a detail on the bottom left
Right,
of the,
yep, I see that. So ties and anchors are okay with us, if you want to do that instead of the concrete collar. We just want to make sure conservation's okay with the concrete collar.
okay,
So if they're not, then the ties and anchors are okay with this with the plastic tank that we have used down in Hummerock. So I just want to let you know that's either the ties or anchors or the concrete collar is fine.
oh, okay, and to just for your information, we did present this previously to the Conservation Commission with that
Okay,
detail with the concrete collar, and they were okay with that.
okay. All right, okay, then fine, yep. And so I haven't reviewed the whole thing in great detail, but it looks like you've fixed and added most of the things that were required, so
Okay, and
it would just be
it still
pending the
has to,
final
it still
review.
has to be approved, right? By conservation?
The Conservation approved it.
I think they
Subject
already
to Board of
did.
Health, subject to
Okay.
Board of Health. Yep.
Okay,
Looks like they already did. They went on the 8th.
okay. Does someone want to make a motion? I don't have the motion in front of me.
I can make a motion. I just have a question. Just the, the request that I had, I see the 5 to 3 feet. Mr. Rigo talked about the 10 to 4.6, and then the reduction from 2 to 1 of the deep observation holes. I also had 10 to 7 from the required property line, 10 to 8.6 from the property line, and 10 to 2 from the water supply line. Is that all?
Oh,
included?
yeah, there's also 10 to 2 to the water supply line. correct?
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm reading all the
Yes.
appropriate.
Yes, that's
applicable
correct.
things
Yep.
here.
And
Okay.
that's, sorry, I forgot to mention that there is the existing line in the roadway kind of run, well, it's on the property. It runs across the subject property. So it's very close to the system, but I know the town of Scituate does have plans in the near future to replace that line and put it more towards the center of Central Ave, so it'll increase the distance.
Okay. All right, then if you have those, Cal, if you want to,
Sure. So motion to approve the septic repair plan at 228 Central Ave with the following upgrade and variances. Reduction from 5 feet to 3 feet requested from the 5-foot minimum vertical distance between the bottom of the stone, underlying the SAS above the groundwater elevation and soils with a recorded perk rate of 2 minutes or less per inch. Reduction from 10 feet to 4.6 from the required 10-foot septic tank setback from the building slab. The reduction from 10 feet to 7 feet from the required 10-foot SAS setback from the property line. Reduction from 10 feet to 8.6 from the required 10-foot SAS setback from the property line. Reduction from 10 feet to 2 feet from the required 10-foot SAS setback from the water supply line. And reduction from 2 to 1 from the required 2 deep observation holes in the proposed disposal area.
I'll second.
okay, so Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Karen?
Yes.
And Doug votes yes, so we're all set with that.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry I wasn't on at the right time, but I appreciate you reopening the hearing and going through it. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Sure.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
So I guess it's make a motion to adjourn the Scituate Board of Health meeting for Monday, August 22nd, 2022, a Zoom meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and Kelly, how do you vote?
Yes.
Karen
Yes.
and Doug votes yes. So I guess that's it.